everyone to be taking their seats. They're going to be coming in throughout this match. There's 3 matches today.
Good point from Sanchez Vicario, showing some early aggression. Was able to get a short ball from Celis. We've spoken about their match record. In fact, they've met 13 times because they just met last week at Nichirai in Japan. As an outdoor court, hard court, slower, heavy balls, and Monica Seles won that one comfortably, 6-1, 6-4. Sanchez Vicario's one win over Monica Seles came at the finals of the Canadian Open back in '92. Already in this opening game that Seles has been forced to play the one-handed forehand. That means Sanchez Vicario is doing a good job of stretching Seles out.
Arantxa got off to a very good start yesterday against Lindsay Davenport, got up 5-3 in the first set. Now she has 2 game points to hold her opening service game. And does so with an ace. So Arantxa takes a 1-0 lead, and Monica will be serving her first service game when we come back to the Fed Cup final.
Hi, I'm Monica Seles, and welcome back to the Fed Cup Finals in ESPN2.
Well, Monica getting a nice round of applause from the people who did get here early to the Atlantic City Convention Center. Could be the clinching and deciding match of the '96 Fed Cup.
Just to look at their Fed Cup records, Monica Seles, a rookie, really, this is her first year playing in a team event. She's 3-0, but Teresa Sanchez Vicario has been playing this for 10 years. Hasn't had a very successful '96, losing 3 of her 4 singles matches this year. In fact, Spain was pretty lucky to get by France in the semifinals. Sanchez lost both of her singles matches to Mary Pierce and Julie Allard de Cougis. And in the deciding doubles, Allard and Toziak had a default because Allard hurt her wrist. Spain was leading in that doubles match, and they were happy to get through to the Fed Cup final.
Well, yesterday in Seles' opening set, she did not lose a point on her serve. This wide one out wide is to the backhand, and Sanchez Vicario hits the winner. So despite being up 40-love, she's lost a point. That was incredible yesterday, how she served.
She served so well, and she served big. I mean, we've spoken about her shoulder problems. Wow, that's skidded off the line there. Making a tough shot for Seles. Monica hurt her shoulder toward the end of the Australian Open, which she won her 9th Grand Slam event in January of this year. And hurt it the next week in Tokyo. Big shot from Seles. She's got a small tear in the lining of her shoulder socket.
So Celis holds serve for 1-all. And the NHL, Florida Panthers versus the New York Rangers. That's Sunday, October 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock out west. A combination of Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, playing on the same team, the Rangers. They'll be a force for the Stanley Cup this year, Bets.
There she is, Billie Jean King, the captain of the U.S. team. She's coached it 4 different times in her career. Billie Jean King played in the inaugural Fed Cup back in 1963.
Betsy, she has a big decision to make. I mean, it's a 2-year term, and she could be finished. But I don't know. I sense that she's wavering a little bit.
Well, there's nobody that can inspire a group of tennis players like Billie Jean King. The players desperately want her to coach again next year.
Billie Jean saying that she wants a little bit more time to herself, and these Fed Cup weeks are all-consuming, and you have to do a lot of phoning in between to find out what players are available, and a lot of communication. There's so many good players on the United States that could be eligible to play.
Billie Jean King is to have Monica Seles, co-ranked #1, playing for the U.S. as Sanchez Vicario throws up a pretty weak lob, and in comes Seles. She came in a lot yesterday in the opening match against Conchita Martinez. She was in 15 times, had a high percentage of winning points at the net.
An example of typical Sanchez Vicario play. She got out of trouble, played that great high lob, got herself right back in.
There's nobody that makes the transition from a defensive position to an offensive position as well as Sanchez Vicario, and that's because of her tremendous foot speed. Play from Seles. Did a good job to get to that drop shot. I was kind of looking for the forehand cross court from Sanchez Vicario on this pass. That's the one she likes. That ball was a little bit too far behind her to whip it cross court. Back to deuce.
Well, indoors, Sanchez Vicario uses her serve as more of a weapon. That last one was well struck straight down the middle. It set up the point for Arantxa. Well, it's always important to stay with Monica Seles early in a match, and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario has done that, holding her opening 2 service games, leading 2 games to 1. We'll see if Monica can stay with her when we come back. In 1995, the United States looked to put a stop to Spain's dominant hold of the Fed Cup. In singles A, Chanda Rubin had Conchita Martinez on the run, but Rubin would eventually fall to Martinez in the second set tiebreak. To singles B, where Sanchez Vicario's brilliant play put the U.S. down 2 going into the final day. Spain clinched their 4th Fed Cup in 5 years as Conchita Martinez won the first match on Sunday. Well, Monica Seles finds herself in the exact same position as Conchita Martinez did last year, which is her team, the U.S., up by 2. First match on the Sunday. She can win it all. See if she can do it.
Typical Sanchez Vicario, that point right there. She was stretched out wide on the forehand side, and she not only got there, but she hit instead of a neutral shot, she hit an offensive shot. Got her back in the point.
Arantxa up love 30 in this game, trying to break Monica's serve and get a little bit of a lead in the first set, 3-1. She would not be happy with that.
No, she would not be. Sanchez Vicario's been playing aggressively. She's already been to the net 5 times. She's equal with Seles in the winner department. Each at 4.
Well, U.S. and Spain have a very long Fed Cup history. Since 1981, they've played 6 times. Of course, the U.S. dominated early, and then when Arantxa and Conchita got their games together in the late 80s, early 90s, it became all Spain.
Well, Pam, you obviously know what it feels like to be on a winning U.S. Fed Cup team, because the last time the U.S. was able to beat Spain was when you were on the team in '89. Big shot from Sanchez Vicario again to set up a break point early in this first set. Boy, when her back's against the wall, Monica Seles, nobody hits balls like she does. I mean, instinctively, she's just so good when she's in trouble. She's courageous. She's fearless. Good serve. She got a weak reply and pounded it.
So for the second time in the game, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario has a break point. Last time Seles took her way out wide. We know she also likes the tee serve. Interesting decision here for Monica. Quick overrule from umpire Mike Morrissey.
Well, if there is a side that can let Sanchez Vicario down, it's the forehand. And see how she kind of cups around the ball, and just look at the reaction on her face as she's had 2 chances to break early here, and she hasn't been able to capitalize.
Well, and that kind of reply on the return of serve is going to be met all the time from Monica Seles, as she just did with a clean winner. You can see her, she's so psyched right here. She sees it short and she's ready to go. So Monica's first game point after facing a couple of break points. So after a struggle, 2 break points down, Monica Seles holds serve. to tie the first set at 2-all. Billie Jean yelling a little encouragement. Major League Soccer Conference semifinal. It's coming down to the wire between the Kansas City Wiz and the Dallas Burn. That's tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 on the West Coast.
There is Miguel Marquez, captain of the Spanish team. He's not quite as vocal as Billie Jean King. Now Celis is starting to really open up the court, really use her power, her shoulders. And she now has Sanchez Vicario running from corner to corner. Look how far outside the doubles alley she is, trying to chase down these angles from Celis. Sanchez Vicario now in just a little bit of trouble on her serve. Love 30.
Well, that was a huge point for Arantxa, because since she missed that pretty easy forehand approach on the break point in the last game, she'd lost 5 straight points, and it was starting to look like Monica was going to take charge. She still may, but that was a huge point. She did not want to get down. Love 40.
Sanchez Vicario is kind of lucky and feels relieved that she won that point. She would have loved to have done more with that forehand volley. Boy, she gave, right here, she gives Celis another chance to pass, but had just enough pace on it. Celis couldn't get quite in good enough position to make it. So from love 30, 2 big points for Sanchez Vicario to get back to 30-all. Nice disguise there. A good serve here, and Celis is looking for a big one. She disguised it well. She has a nice touch, Sanchez Vicario. That's a bit more like the Monica Seles that we're also familiar with. Nobody pounds the ball as hard and as consistently as Seles.
I'm not sure how many players would have gotten that backhand up the line that Seles hit. Arantxa manages to get it back and makes Monica hit another one. Servers had some real struggles the last couple of games. This service game back to deuce.
Sanchez Vicario cannot believe it, and Monica sort of that's normal. How focused is Seles? I mean, what a shot this is. She's on the dead run, full stretch, one-handed, and hooks it down the line.
And when you are on the dead run like that, so stretched out, you've got to watch the line. I think Arantxa wishes she close that gap just a bit. Break point for Monica to edge ahead 3-2.
Good point from Sanchez Vicario. Boy, she had a couple balls very close to the line. In fact, I think Monica may have thought the one on the baseline hoped would have been long. And this one, boy, it catches the outside of the sideline there. But that's so good from Sanchez Vicario. Look at the reaction after she plays this winning volley. And you're looking at the #1 doubles player in the world. And she's up there. She knows what to do.
Well, that errant forehand brings up another break point opportunity for Monica Seles. When Billie Jean King's on the sideline, all she does is look at her player. She very seldom looks down the other side of the court. It's really interesting to see. Just as focused on her player. Well, that winner backhand up the line gives Monica Seles the first break of the match. Here's the great get she made earlier. So she'll be serving when we come back for 4-2. Monica Seles up 3-2. We asked her about what it meant to come back here to Atlantic City, where she played Martina Navratilova in her return to tennis.
Yeah, it holds a very special place in my heart. Well, yesterday when I walked in for the first time into the stadium where I actually played against Martina has been, wow, a lot of memories start coming back. And even just the people around the hotel, around Caesars, have been just remembering me, seeing the faces again. And I really didn't think I would see them this soon again, so it's been really nice. And I love the convention center we were playing and the court surface. So the great thing is that everything going into the matches is very positive, and I think that's really helpful.
Well, Monica's waiting for some people to sit down, and of course that was a tremendous occasion for Monica, and I think she likes these Caesars guys. See them standing up at the back of the court. She's gotten pretty familiar with these guys the last year and a couple of months. Of course, Caesars.
It was amazing when she did come here a year and a half ago, just over a year ago, after a 2.5-year absence, returning right here at this site.
Monica's obviously troubled with something in the corner. I'm sure it's not one of her favorite Centurions.
Now that's Sanchez Vicario's favorite shot right there, the two-handed backhand, so versatile off of it. A nice compact stroke. She really can produce any shot. She particularly likes the one down the line.
Well, they always say the easiest time to break is right after you've been broken. And now Sanchez Vicario has an opportunity, second time in a row on the Seles serve. She's up 2 points.
Well, Seles being punished a little bit for trying to attack, especially that backhand side of Sanchez Vicario. Seles has been working on playing more aggressively, especially with Billie Jean King in the chair on the side. Billie Jean's been helping her with her volley. Good serve there.
The second time on break points that she's really used that one out wide.
She'd love a couple of more big first serves right now. Still 2 break points down. knows that the Sanchez Vicario forehand is the weaker one.
Well, 2 down, 1 more break point to go. Have to take advantage of these opportunities. The first break point, Monica hit a good serve, but the last 2 were pretty much wasted from Sanchez Vicario. She was not aggressive.
No, I mean, not big serves at all. This one right across the plate for Sanchez Vicario, and that ball just landed several feet inside the service line. Nothing on it. Well, Sanchez Vicario has another break point. This will make the 6th one in this set. She hasn't capitalized on any of them.
Arantxa very pleased to finally break back many break opportunities, and it's been a pretty good year for Arantxa. She's won a couple of titles in Hilton Head and Hamburg, both of which are on clay, and of course, look at her finalist list.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good year, but look at the year it could have been. I mean, she's been so close. She's been in 7 finals. There was 6 of 7 consecutive finals. All started that at the French Open, where she had a real shot to take out Steffi Graf in that final. She was up 4-2. I think she had 2 points for a 5-2 lead in that 3rd set. Couldn't win it.
Well, they always say the 7th game is a very important game in a set, and so far in the match, both players serving above 50%, Sells at 63.
Look at those winning numbers, though. I mean, this is a high-quality match. Both players are hitting more winners than errors. You expect more winners from Sellis. She really tries to take charge, take control of every point from the first hit. Sanchez Vicario is the counter-puncher, chases everything down, makes you hit one good shot after another before you can finally win the point. Well, Sanchez Vicario is convinced she's got herself another ace.
Well, of course, Miguel Margetts has to get up and argue when your player's that adamant about a bad call, but it's tough for him to see that low down on the court on that center service line. Of course, it's so disappointing when you think at 15 all, 3 all, you've hit an ace, and then it's taken away. Let's see if you all at home can figure this out.
I'll tell you, we're sitting right on that line, and it looked pretty good. I mean, sometimes on TV it's hard to tell, but that one clearly was in.
But Bill Gilmore, the tournament referee, there is nothing he can do about a call. I mean, it's a judgment call of the linesman, and then it's a judgment call of Mike Morrissey whether to overrule or not. It wasn't an obvious error. I mean, the lady is making the call. She calls it just fault, but it's awfully close. And the umpire's only supposed to overrule obvious mistakes.
I didn't see it. Did you see it?
And Monica's going up to the net because Billie Jean says, did you see it? She didn't see it. And Monica, being one of the fairest people out here, I think she saw it good. She started to make a move.
Well, if you're saying it's good, it's her point.
See,
I mean, anyway, now we've got to give her a first serve because of this delay. So if you're saying it's good, it's her point.
It was an awkward position for Monica to have Billie Jean say, did you see it? Because believe me, Arantxa's not going to give anything to Monica.
Absolutely not.
So she is giving Arantxa the point.
I'll tell you, that's why Sellis is such a popular and a well-liked competitor. I mean, she's co-ranked #1 in the world, yet she's so extremely fair and gracious.
Betsy, when there's a close call later on in this match that goes against Monica, I hope they put a little pressure on Arantxa to say, hey, did you see it? Have Arantxa come up to the net, talk to her captain and coach. Let's see what she has to say. But you're right, that was a great move by Monica.
Great shot from Celis. Wrong footing, Sanchez Vicario. That's such a smart play against a speedy player. Fast players are always looking to cover the open court. And Sanchez Vicario goes down as one of the fastest players ever to play this game.
So another game point for 4-3. Well, that was a shot you were talking about earlier, Betsy, that she loves the cross-court forehand. So Arantxa, after a bit of a controversy, she's telling the umpire exactly what she thinks. See what Monica does when we come back. This match a little bit has been a roller coaster. A couple of breaks traded in the 5th and 6th game. That last bit of controversy when Monica gave the service ace to Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. And I think Monica's probably a little bit upset she was put in that position. I think she, you're supposed to just play by the calls. Monica has spoken about her year, and she certainly enjoyed the Australian Open win and a lot of other wins, finals of the U.S., but she's been disappointed by the injuries and not being able to play consistently on the tour. This would really help her year to be able to win the Fed Cup for the U.S.
Misses there, and to do it here in the U.S. I mean, the Fed Cup has been played in this country 5 times. And the only time they've won it in this country was back in '63.
It's the 3rd straight service game, Betsy, that Monica has been down love 30.
Sanchez Vicario out here today, and that's kind of what we thought might happen. So aggressive. She's looking for short balls. She's getting short balls because she's taking Celis off the court well, and we know how good she is when she's in a position to volley on her terms. Triple break point.
Monica fights off one of her 3 break points, but look at this. 8 of 11 times that Sanchez Vicario has come to net, she's won the point. That's a lot of times. It's a great percentage.
2 winners. Save 2 break points, but Sanchez Vicario still has 1 left. Look at those break chances that Sanchez Vicario has had. She's broken once. Boy, here's a second serve for Sanchez Vicario. She's had some success when Celis has had to play second serves.
Well, for the second time in a row, Monica Celis drops her serve, and it is at a crucial time because now Arantxa Sanchez Vicario will serve for this first set. Yesterday in the match against Conchita Martinez, Monica got down an early break in the second set, but never this late.
Hurry along, sir, please. Thank you.
boy, she's serving well, isn't she, Sanchez Vicario? I mean, she's serving with placement and power, forcing Celis to drop a hand, and Celis is such a great returner of serve. Sanchez Vicario has won 11 of the last 15 points.
There's the U.S. bench. Mary Jo Fernandez in the middle. And blocked is Lindsay Davenport. And Lindsay would start, there she is. Lindsay would start to be feeling a little butterflyish because she knows Monica doesn't win this match, puts all sorts of pressure on her because not only is she playing the next singles, but she would play the deciding doubles if it got down to 2-all.
I mean, Sanchez Vicario tactically is doing exactly what she needs to, and exactly what Conchita Martinez, who's in your picture right there, was trying to do yesterday, and that is to get angles, get Celis out of position, so you can open up the court to get a short ball to attack.
She was a bit desperate on that one. She knew she was out of position. Billie Jean King trying to encourage Monica Seles on.
Celis is so good. And she hugs that baseline, takes the ball early, right off the bounce. And Sanchez Vicario's jerking her around a little bit.
Again, great tactics from the Spaniard. It's incredible. She's bending well when she has to fight off the pace of Celis, and then she's getting her opportunities. That backhand approach was within a foot of the baseline.
And she senses, too, as we look at the Spanish captain, Miguel Marquez, she senses how far back behind the baseline Celis is to attack. This is huge. This is a set point for Sanchez Vicario.
Well, what a turnaround in this first set for Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. She was down a break 3-2, and she's come back with 4 straight games. She's taken the first set from Monica Seles, 6-3. How will Monica respond? We'll find back when we come back.